All right. Hey everyone, hope you're doing well today. And Hallie, as always. So just a quick couple things about my setup, and then we'll get right into class. So I'm on a hardwood floor, a rug, and then I get 2 yoga mats. Depending on where you are, what you have around you, what floor you're on, I would highly recommend padding under your knees and under your wrists during class. Anytime there is kind of weight bearing on those joints, we just want to protect our joints over time. So pillow, blanket, towel, whatever, something to put under those knees, under those wrists. I have yoga blocks here. They're great to bring the floor up to you. What these do is not only support you in some poses, but can actually allow you to go deeper into some poses. What works instead of blocks is anything, basically, between 2 and 8 inches that's sturdy. That's what we're looking for around the house if you don't have blocks. Paper towel rolls, toilet paper rolls, soup cans, paint cans, tons of options, tons of things work. It just has to be sturdy and anywhere between 2 and 8 inches, and it can work. I have a pillow behind me. I will be using a pillow. Pillow's kind of the same thing as a block. It helps pad under joints or different body parts to enable you to get into poses a little bit more and to feel more comfortable in those poses. I've got a strap here. Strap is wonderful to link things together, link your hands together, link your hands to your feet, something that can't reach using a strap. What can be used instead of a strap is a tie, a belt, an old foam cord. We won't be doing any strap dedicated exercises today. There is tons of yoga strap work, which is fabulous, but that's not what we're going to do today. But if there's a spot where you could use a strap, I'll let you know. I'll say, oh, this would be great, and I'll show you some modifications with a strap. So I pull this out every once in a while, but it's not necessary to have. Unless you know that you're really tight, then I would grab something like a strap. The last thing is that I am pregnant, so I do have to make a few modifications here and there. The only big glaring difference that I will have to do is I can't lay down flat on my back anymore, unfortunately. So I prop myself up with my blocks and with a pillow. Other than that, I'll let you know if I'm making a modification for pregnancy. Things like deep twists, I just kind of go into a gentle twist. So I'll let you know, I'll keep you aware and understanding when I'm doing something different than what I'm asking you to do. That's all of my announcements. Let's start in a comfortable seated position. So just taking a moment to find this kind of grounding sensation. Some people actually like to use their hands to pull like the meat of their thighs and butt away from their hip bones to really feel this nice grounding sensation. Personally, I like to kind of just rock back and forth to find my center, to find kind of this evenness. If your hips are really tight, cross-legged may not work for you. It works fabulously for me, but I know it doesn't work for everyone. So sometimes if you have tight hips, just legs out straight, legs out wide. You could go into bound angle to start. I don't care what's going on from the waist down. I just care you're finding a space where you feel grounded through those hips. You don't feel like you're about to fall over or anything like that. You can even back up against a wall or a couch or a bed, something behind you for support. That's always an option as well. And then the first thing we're going to do is just core up and in. Now, throughout the practice, the entire practice, I love for you to suck that core up and in. It's why it's like the first thing that we do is practicing that core engagement. So technically, in all poses, you should have that core sucked up and in, but it is very difficult for some people to have that core engagement. The strength of the core is just not there to sustain 45 minutes of sucking that core up and in. So just try to come back to it as much as you can. Continually saying core up and in, reminding every time we get into a pose, checking that core first, and then checking every other body part to make sure that it's in line with what the pose is. Let's move to our shoulders, maybe just doing a few shoulder rolls to loosen those shoulders up this morning. Good, and then squeezing those shoulder blades together. Not overly dramatic. We don't want our arms back here. Just nice little squeeze, keeping that upper back in line. So we're working from those hips up. So your back should be nice and flat and straight now. You should almost feel like you grew a couple inches, hopefully. Last thing is head and neck. And we can do a few head and neck shoulder rolls. We're actually going to do some neck stretches today after we kind of check this posture, and then bringing your head to center. So if I'm not centered directly in front of you, stop looking at me. All right, a lot of times we don't even notice that things are off to the side a little bit. So like your computer setup, a lot of people have multiple monitors, and the main monitor that they look at is not necessarily the monitor that is straight in front of them. So that is actually something that you should check in terms of your daily life, what you constantly look at. We want that head centered, on straight. It's kind of a ergonomics little reminder there, right? So don't look at me if I'm not straight on. I should be at this kind of horizon line. And then maybe resting your hands on your knees or bringing your hands to heart center. You can close your eyes if you'd like here. We're just going to take 3 clearing breaths together. So a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Good, again, inhale, filling up. Exhale, clearing out. One more, nice deep inhale. Big clearing exhale. Wonderful. As I said, we're going to do some neck stretches to start. So right hand comes all the way over, and I kind of use my fingers as like a little cage around my left ear. If your hand can't reach your left ear, that's okay. Just a nice gentle tug. Now I say tug, but I say tug lightly. Very, very gentle here. Our necks are very sensitive. So you want to put, I don't know, a half pound of pressure here. It shouldn't be a very, very, very deep stretch. It should be just a nice, gentle stretch here. And then as you're here, you can play around with how your head is tilted. So maybe you look up towards the ceiling. Maybe you drop your neck down a little bit. And hopefully you can find at least one spot, hopefully not more than one spot, but one spot that's kind of a little bit tighter than the rest of your neck. For me, it's looking down here. You can definitely feel through the left side of my neck that this area is a bit tighter than the rest. So I'm gonna just stop and pause here. Good, let's slowly release that right hand and do the same thing on the left side. So the left hand comes over, and again, I use a little cage around my ear with my fingertips. But if you can just hold your head, you can just hold your head. And then just starting here. And then maybe rotating that head and neck up and down. Looking for one or maybe multiple. I have multiple spots on this side that feel tight. Once you've found a spot that you can definitely feel is a little bit tighter than the rest, just pause there. Good, let's slowly release. We're gonna just do a few neck rolls, so looking straight down, rolling your head and neck up just to that horizon line again, halfway up on the right side, and then back through center to the left. And the reason we only go up halfway is when you go all the way around, it puts a little unnecessary pressure on that neck and takes your neck out of alignment. And hopefully you're getting a nice deep stretch and loosening through the neck just as we're doing this. It's like you don't need to do a ton more here. And even as we're rolling our shoulders, our neck, I just felt it in my shoulders, that's why I said shoulders. I've noticed that my shoulders have rounded forward, that my posture has gone here. So we want to, remember, engage that core, roll those shoulders back, keep that posture nice and straight as we do just a few more. Now, if you remember what side you started on, try to end on the opposite side. I know that I started on the right side, so I'm going to end on the left and come back to center. We're going to move right into a tabletop position. So if you have anything on your mat, clear it away. Got these blocks always set up. So tabletop position, shoulders over elbows over wrists, hips right over your knees. And you want to take a moment to really find center here. So again, engaging that core up and in, noticing if your knees are at hips width distance, making those small adjustments, lining up your shoulders right over your elbows, over your wrists, nice and long here. A lot of people shorten their tabletop and think that right here they're in their tabletop. This is where a mirror or a video comes in handy to just check your body position. If it's not already just perfect muscle memory, which it will be over time, using those tools to really check where you are. And then from here, let's drop into some cat-cow. So inhaling forward, pushing up through your head and through your butt, dropping that belly down. Exhale, curving up, getting all of your air out, pushing up through your back. And then just continuing, inhaling forward. Exhale, curving up. And this is one of those places where I love to close my eyes. I feel like it makes it more of a personal practice. I'm looking inward. I'm not noticing any dust bunnies or any distractions around my room. For me, dust bunnies are dog hair. One of my dogs just finished shedding, just in time for the second dog to start shedding. I was like, oh, we're in the clear. I don't have to vacuum every day anymore, multiple times a day. Nope, started right back up. So if you've been wondering what I've been doing, it's mostly vacuuming. You can always add in some organic movements here, swaying your hips side to side, doing hip circles, body circles. Just make sure if you start to add these circles in, go in both directions, please. If you want your wrists and forearms stretched out, you can flip those hands around. Tons of options here. And we're here with this organic movement for about 5 more breaths. So that gives you some time to just move, making sure you're doing stuff on both sides. Good, coming back to tabletop. So we're gonna do some flow today. The first flow that we're gonna do, I absolutely love. So it starts out in a child's pose. That's why I love it. So let's move to our child's pose. We're gonna move through the first time, not connecting breath with movement, just kind of enjoying each pose, pausing there, getting our body used to it, and then we'll start to move through breath movement. So child's pose, knees to the edges of your mat, big toes come together behind you. First, just sitting back on your heels. And this may be a great place for a pillow if your hips don't reach your heels. Not while we're doing the flow, but right now as we're pausing in child's pose, that'll help connect your hips to your heels. If you've had knee surgeries, hip surgeries, knees out to the side may not feel good. You can always bring those knees into hips with distance as well. Whenever you're ready, walk those hands and arms forward, resting your head against the mat. Just taking some easy inhales and exhales here. Maybe even swaying your forehead side to side against your mat. This is one of the things I definitely use when I have a headache to help just massage out my forehead. Wonderful. From this child's pose, we're going to come into our tabletop position. It's just a nice, as smooth a transition as you can make it. Then we're going to do a cat-cow. So we're going to inhale forward. Exhale, curve up. From here, you're going to walk your hands about 1 to 2 inches forward. So we're just elongating our tabletop tiny bit. Then dropping those hips all the way forward, coming into our cobra. Now, we walk those hands and arms forward so that we have this nice alignment, shoulders over elbows over wrists. If your body is different, which everyone's body is different, you may not have to walk those hands forward a little bit. I definitely have to, and I feel like most people have to, but it really just depends on your body and also the tightness in your body right now, in those muscles. So as we're here, if you feel any sort of twinge in your lower back, it's not what we're looking for. Come back to that the elongated tabletop position. Engage that core up and in. Remember all of that core work. And then drop back down into this cobra. That should help protect your lower back. From here, rolling those shoulders back, getting as much lift as you can. And then we're going to look over our right shoulder towards your right heel, dropping that left hip forward just a bit. Coming back through center, doing the same thing on the other side, looking over that left shoulder towards that left heel, letting that right hip drop forward. Coming back to center, and then shifting all the way back into our child's pose. So I just kind of slide my knees out, sit back on our heels. So that's the first flow that we're gonna do today, all right? So I want you to try to connect breath with movement as we go through this. So starting from this child's pose, taking a nice deep inhale and an exhale here. Good. Shifting up to that tabletop. Inhale forward. Exhale, curving up. Good. Walk those hands 1 or 2 inches forward. Drop those hips down, inhaling here. Exhale, look right. Inhale, center. Exhale, look left. Inhale, center. Exhale, child's pose. And then we're just going to keep going. 1 inhale. And an exhale. Shifting up to tabletop. Inhale, forward. Exhale, curve up. Inhale, dropping into that cobra. Exhale, look right. Inhale, center. Exhale, look left. Inhale, center. Exhale, child's pose. So let's move through 2 more. 1 inhale. 1 exhale in child's pose. Moving up to tabletop. Inhale through those cats and cows. exhale. And then inhale, cobra. Exhale, look right. Inhale, center. Exhale, look left. Inhale, center. Exhale, child's pose. Good. Last time through, one inhale. One exhale. Move up to tabletop. Cat and cow. Hands walk forward maybe a little bit. Inhale, drop into that cobra. Exhale, look right. Inhale, center. Exhale, look left. Inhale, center. Exhale, child's pose. Good job. Taking a couple breaths here and remembering that child's pose is here for you at any point during the class if you need or want it. We're going to move into our downward facing dog. So pushing up to tabletop. And then from here, toes go under, hips hinge up and back into your downward facing dog. Now, this first down dog, taking a moment to just find your space. Your hamstrings may feel a little bit tight. We really haven't done much in our hamstrings yet today or our lower body at all. My feet, just to let you know, are a bit wider than I would traditionally want, but that's just to make space for baby. However, you can play around with your foot position where it feels most comfortable for you. Traditionally, hips width distance, but I'm a little bit further away. And then just bending into one knee, bending into the other, shifting your hip side to side. Just holding this first down dog, feeling nice and strong, breathing. And if you ever need a break, if it's ever too much in that down dog, come down to tabletop, come down to child's pose, listen to your body. That's part of yoga, that mind-body connection. Taking a sip of water when you need it. Here, let's take a nice deep inhale. And an exhale, walk your hands back to your feet. We're pausing here, forward fold. Because we haven't stretched out those hamstrings at all, and this feels wonderful. Personally, I hope it feels wonderful for you as well. So as we're here, I don't really care what's going on with your arms. Tons of different arm variations for a forward fold. Personally, I just like to relax my hands and arms down to the ground, looking between my feet with my eyes, if not closing my eyes. Some popular arm variations are ragdoll arms, where you put basically the L, pointer finger and thumb, in the crook of one elbow, or in the crook of the opposite elbow, and the same thing with the opposite arm. You can intertwine your hands and place them at the base of your head. Maybe go into a bind behind your back, intertwining your hands, letting those shoulders fall open a bit. Just picking what feels good for you. Wonderful. We're going to move into a flat back. So we're going to come up halfway, squeezing our shoulders, engaging that core. Just pausing here, feeling nice and strong, long through the top of your head, all the way down through your hips. And then falling forward, back into that forward fold. Slowly rise all the way up through stand. We were upside down for a little bit, so hopefully you don't get dizzy. Inhale those arms up overhead. And then come all the way forward, back the way you came. Nice and slow here. Coming back into that flat back position. Again, squeezing those shoulders, engaging that core halfway up. And then walking your hands forward into your down dog. So that's the next flow we're going to move through. Again, connecting breath with movement. Nice big inhale. Exhale, walk your hands back to your feet. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand, reaching those arms up overhead. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, hands walk forward, down dog. Good. One inhale. One exhale here, then walk your hands back to your feet. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach up. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, flat back. Hands walk forward, down dog. Remember, you can always take a break coming into that tabletop or child's pose whenever you need it. Let's move through just 2 more of those modified flows. Nice big inhale. Exhale, hands walk back to your feet. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach up. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, flat back. Hands walk forward, down dog. Good, last one, nice big inhale. Exhale, hands walk back to your feet. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach up. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, flat back. Hands walk forward, down dog. Good, we're gonna move through just a few sun salutation A's. If you wanna keep your practice more restorative today, you can stick with that flow that we just did. Otherwise, we're gonna move through some sun salutation A's, as I said. Now, a great modification, if you're building strength, is to put your knees down in that chaturanga, the high to low plank. And I'll show you how to do that the first time through. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, walk separate jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach up. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, flat back. Plant your hands, step back, high plank. Now again, here's where we just pop our knees down, coming halfway down, bending into those arms, elbows into your side, low plank. Shifting forward, hips forward, shoulders back, cobra, into your downward facing dog. Good. This time through, I'm not going to modify the chaturanga for those of you who want to see that. Nice big inhale. Exhale, walk separate jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach up. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, flat back. Plant your hands, high plank. Halfway down, elbows in, low plank. Upward facing dog or cobra, especially if you're putting those knees down into your downward facing dog. Good, let's move through 2 more of those sun salutation A's. Nice big inhale. Exhale, walk separate jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach up. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, flat back. High through low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Last one. Nice big inhale. Exhale, walk separate jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach up. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, flat back. High through low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Wonderful job. Taking a couple breaths here in this downward facing dog. And moving down to tabletop. We're going to make our way onto our backs. So however you'd like to get there. Again, this is the place where you see me modifying the most. If you'd like to join me in this, it's super comfortable. It's one block on a medium level, one block on the lowest level in front, and then I place a pillow on top. But as you make your way onto your backs, bring whatever props you'd like for Shavasana, because we're going to go into Shavasana right after this. You need to grab some water, and then lay back. The first thing you're going to do is just make sure you find a comfortable position. So same thing as we did in the beginning when we were seated. You really just want to kind of fix your body, right? So maybe sway your hips a little side to side, maybe roll your shoulders a little. You're just finding this place of center where you feel grounded, you feel secure, you don't feel like you're gonna fall over, you feel comfortable, like you can do some poses and then go right into Shavasana. Slowly from here, once you kind of found that center spot for your body, bringing your knees into your chest, rocking your hips side to side, back and forth, just massaging out. We didn't really do that many leg stretches today during class, but you should feel nice and warmed up from all that flow. So we're gonna add in happy baby here to get the inner thigh and the groin. So knees go out super wide past your armpits. And then from here, try to grab behind your thighs, your calves, or your feet. Two main options here. You can either just use your hands and arms to pull down on the feet. That is what I prefer for this nice, deep hip flexor, inner thigh, groin stretch. Or you can kind of loosen up on those arms and just kind of sway side to side. If you're doing more of this swaying side to side, it's actually a very good pose for digestion. If you have a stomach ache and want to try some natural remedies first. Happy baby is one of those poses. Also, twists, any spinal twists can help with digestion as well. And from here, bringing your knees back into your chest, hugging in, and then releasing your feet down to the mat, keeping your knees bent. Go into an outer hip stretch, crossing your right ankle over your left knee for figure four. So now pause here first. You maybe want to push out on that right knee. See if you feel this already in that right outer hip. If you do, there's literally nothing else you have to do. Just stay here. If you don't feel this stretch at all, grab behind that left side, pull into your chest for figure four. Now, one of my favorite ways to do figure four is actually against the wall. So pretend there's a wall behind this left foot, and I'm using that wall there to push into my right leg with that left foot. Usually when I'm taking a yoga class live and in real life, I always try to find a wall or a pipe or something, some support where I have it next to me, and that's where I always set my mat so that I have that extra support. I have a place and I have something that can help me go deeper into stretches. And also, if you have a wall there, would allow you to release your hands as well. Good. Let's release here, and then we're just going to move to the other side, crossing that left ankle over your right knee. And again, testing this out. One side might be very different than the other. Noticing if you already feel that stretch. If you do, stay here, don't do anything else. If you don't, grab behind that right thigh, pull into your chest for figure four. And it's good while you're here if you just notice if one side is tighter than the other. I know that personally I've been getting a lot of sciatic pain, which I've never had before, so thank you, baby. But my husband has suffered with sciatic pain for a while, and you know, I've never experienced it as much as I can say, these are the stretches that work for you. Each person's different, and each body works different. So you have those targeted stretches that should help and should work, but it doesn't always. And I looked over at him the other day and I was like, this sciatic pain's no joke. Because it isn't. It's really deep and intense, and I've been definitely doing figure four a lot more than I used to help stretch out that area. So this is great for that sciatic pain. What's also great for sciatic pain is increasing your butt muscles, strengthening your butt muscles. That can help with sciatic pain as well. Good. Let's release, bringing those knees back into your chest again, rocking side to side, back and forth, massaging out. We're going to move into a full body stretch here. Arms come up overhead, legs go out straight. We're going to end with one of my favorite poses, which is banana. It helps get hip flexor, lower back, SI joint. So we're going to do the left side first, because just I feel like it's a little bit easier to see. So left ankle goes towards the left bottom corner of your mat. Your leg should stay straight on the ground. So that's why I say towards. It doesn't matter if your ankle is at the bottom corner or not. Then your right ankle is going to come on top of your left ankle. The key here is keeping that left hip on the ground. So if you're really tight, you may need to bend that left knee in order to keep that left hip flush against the ground. And then from here, both arms go towards that left upper corner of the mat. So we're creating this banana shape, or maybe like a crescent moon shape. And hopefully you feel this in somewhere in that area, lower back, SI joint, hip flexor. But maybe your shoulders are really tight, you could feel it there as well. Maybe through that side body. Again, it just all depends on your body and where you are the tightest. Good, let's migrate through center and go to the other side. So right ankle towards that right bottom corner of your mat. Left ankle comes on top. And again, that left hip stays flat against the ground. That's really the key here. So if you need to bend into that knee to keep that hip on the ground, that's okay. And then both arms go toward that right upper corner of your mat, creating that banana shape. Good, let's move back through center and then just go back to a nice full body stretch. Arms come up overhead, legs go out straight. Maybe rolling your ankles, pointing and flexing your feet a little bit. And then take a nice deep inhale. And a big exhale, releasing your arms down by your sides for Shavasana. So taking the first few moments to just find a comfortable position for your body. Traditionally in yoga, you'd be laying on your back, legs laid open, palms up towards the ceiling. However, feel free to move into whatever position is most comfortable for you today. Maybe that's seated or laying on a couch or a bed, maybe curled up on your side. Once you've found that position, Maybe do a body scan from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. Just releasing and relaxing each muscle. Once your body is relaxed, start to relax your mind, attempting to let go of all thoughts and feelings. If you notice a thought starts to come into your head, just try to let it slip away. Shutting behind a door, evaporating into the air, whatever it takes to just let go. Slowly taking a deep inhale and a big exhale. Slowly starting to move your fingers and your toes. Bending your knees and curling up on one side of your body. Slowly pushing all the way up to seated. Either resting your hands on your knees or bringing your hands to heart center. Together, let's take one last deep inhale. Big clearing exhale. And with gratitude, namaste. Thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed the class. and hope to see you all again soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you.